What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Kate, today and every day. I found a great video for you on social isolation. I like this video because I am a person that socially isolates for sure. And there's a lot of experiences that have happened in my life that have caused me to be this way. And I agree with this guy on a lot of the things that he says. I wonder if we all kind of have similar experiences. So if you are a social isolator, go ahead, leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think of this video.
So I'm someone who doesn't have a lot of friends. I don't have like a lot of social relationships. I have a couple of friends here and there that I talk to occasionally, but I don't have any consistent IRL social relationships. And most of my friends are online, and even then, we don't really talk very often. I don't have like friends that I hang out with online every day or frequently, right? And I just thought I would talk about like what like social isolation at this level is like, because I think it's an interesting perspective, because I don't think a lot of people have this perspective. Maybe there are a lot of people, and I hope that someone in the comments can talk about their experience with social isolation too. But the biggest thing is, um, I have so much time to really consider myself and to really figure things out, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. I I don't really know. I'll do a video about like my whole mind transformation that has happened to me over my life. Like I was a totally different person, from high school, college, going up and to now. And I used to be a pretty social person, and I had my groups of friends and people that I hung out with and that cared for me. But eventually something happened and I realized that a lot of those people didn't really care about me, and they didn't really have my best interest in mind. And it was more so that they kept me around for their own selfish reasons because I was a good person to them and I was a good friend to them and I did things for them. It wasn't really that they did anything useful or helpful or supportive and encouraging to me. I was their support and their encouragement. And I realized that that took everything from me. Absolutely everything. It took my identity, it took my future, my ability to plan for a future, my ability to have wants and desires for a future. It just like took that from me. And eventually I got to this place, life led me, and I just completely cut off a lot of these people, all of them actually. And I have zero regrets about it. It was the best thing I ever did for myself. There's a 110% reason that I cut those people off. And since then, I've like rediscovered who I am, like straight up. I know myself better than I ever have in my whole life, even when I was a kid. I actually feel the closest to my childlike self now than I ever have before. I've like restored my childlike wonder about the world and about life. And I have so much time now to ponder, why am I here? And why did these things happen to me? And what was the lesson behind that? And who do you want to be now? And where am I going? And it's opened up just space, desperate space that I needed, away from people who were weighing me down and stealing from me. And instead, I just put all this time and energy into trying to figure my life out. And it's been amazing. I have my own business now. I'm not working a job that makes me miserable, that I hate anymore. I work with people that I like, that I care about. I feel like there's purpose in my work. I'm doing this. This has taken me so many years to get to this place with YouTube, to where I'm even filming and doing this. I don't even know. I haven't hit public yet at the time of filming this video, and I will be in the next couple of weeks. Who knows what's going to happen from there? But it took me years to even know what I wanted to do YouTube about. I always knew I wanted to do YouTube, but the thoughts were blocked. I didn't have the space and the endless time to ponder and think and get in and figure out what my niche is and what I like and what I'm interested in. And clearing out toxic people was the very best fast track, one way to get there. And I highly encourage you to do it. If you are a person who feels suffocated by the people around you, and you feel like there's a constant miscommunication, and they are constantly misunderstanding you, and they're constantly cutting you off, and just, it's always about them and the problems in their life, and it's never about you and the problems in your life. Those people are not people you want to keep around. They are parasitic, and they're taking from you, and they will take everything if you let them. So I totally went off on a tangent, but that's my experience. That's why I socially isolate now, and I will never stop. My mind now is my favorite place to be. There was once upon a time where I couldn't sit still alone with my own thoughts for more than 2 seconds. I would go crazy, and now it's all I want to do. And nobody's ever going to take that away from me. I'm never going to let anybody steal that from me ever again. I'll always protect my peace. I'll always make sure that when I let people in my life, that I make sure I really evaluate them, and I really sit with myself and I think to myself, do I like this person? Who cares if they like me? We're not focused on that. Do I like them? Do I feel like I vibe with them? Like there's somebody that could add to my life, that we could be good friends? And if the answer is no, the answer is no.
right? Because I can really kind of understand what is for me and what isn't,
Mhm.
right? And who is
Exactly.
for me and who isn't. And
Yeah, it's weird. It's like when you socially isolate for such a period of time, when you do go back out there and talk to people again, you have this like it's a literal superpower, because I think that most of the time other people are really concerned about them and their appearance, and do you like them, and I think that's like the natural human reaction. But when you've removed yourself from that, and you know who you are, and you don't have to worry about, does this person like me, you can really just observe them. And it like really, it's a literal superpower, because you can see past manipulation. You can see past the bullshit that people try to spew out and, butter up so that they can get into your life. It's really interesting.
when you have the silence of no social relationships
Mhm.
or little to none, right? You get the whisper, you get the through the grapevine effect, where you can kind of hear underneath everything what people latently think about you,
Mhm.
right? Because
And it's not really something you hear, it's something you see. For me, it's facial expressions. I can just tell. I know, I see it on your face when you don't like me. And it makes me just be like, "Okay, we don't need to talk ever. We can just end this conversation right here. We don't have to have small talk. Imma just walk away. I'll go find my people. You go find your people. We're not each other's people." I don't wanna waste my time for a single second having small talk with people who are just not my people. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. Maybe that's not a good way to live life, but for me, it's been great, and I'm a lot happier than I ever used to be when I forced myself to interact with people that I did not like.
you don't have all these other people saying directly to you what's going on in their life or seeding you with ideas that they have about you,
Mm,
right? I can just sit for a long time and sort of hear underneath everything what is going on, and I have kind of an observational perspective to where I can kind of observe things, right? The negative is I am now extremely socially, like, retarded.
I also have this issue that, I've mentioned this in other videos. I really struggle with eye contact now. I don't like people to it's because I don't want people to look into my eyes. I don't want people to observe me. I don't wanna be observed. I don't wanna be judged. I hate interacting with people, and we all have to judge each other. I don't like it.
For lack of a better term. Like, I am very socially backwards right now because of the fact that I haven't really interacted with people in a long time, right? At least consistently, right? Maybe one off here and there, and I'm so excited to hang out with someone that I feel like I'm off putting. So, um,
I feel like that too. I always think people think I'm off-putting. And I mean, who knows? Maybe I am.
yeah, I just think that like you, how do I put this? I think you have to I think I have to just put myself into more social situations to where I can interact with people more. But that's hard to do. Just
I think that it's important to expose yourself to social situations on a semi-regular basis just to keep the muscle going. just so you're able to still do it when you have to. For example, I waitress for a really long time. And if I just stop talking to everybody, I'm not going to be able to waitress anymore because I will just become socially obsolete and not have any idea how to interact anymore. So I try to maintain a little bit of talking to people and engaging in conversation just so I keep that muscle working so that I know that I can still do it. I don't want to do it. It's extremely uncomfortable. I feel like I'm about to be shot at. It feels like I'm literally in war when I talk to people. And like I'm just sitting there like so anxious for some reason. But
It's hard to do because
it is good to do.
I don't really get along with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And
I agree.
a lot of people get on my nerves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of tough finding valuable social relationships in a world where it's like everyone's kind of inundated with content and everything's kind of awkward
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of sucks. But
It does suck. It really does suck. Everybody's living in a different world now. Everyone has their own, it's always been that way, but it's now to like an extreme, I feel, with with social media being the way that it is and algorithmic and the way that it finds your brain patterns and like makes a whole new pattern for you. Like everybody's just living in a totally different timeline and a totally different life and their thoughts are totally different and it's just kind of scary now. Like sometimes if you put out a certain thought to somebody, they will react in an extremely negative way and think horrible about you without even listening to what you really said. It's just they just have a knee jerk reaction to hate certain types of people. And I think living in such a hostile social environment causes people to isolate like this and the way that I do. Like it's just a natural reaction. Why would you want to interact with people who are so they just get so worked up and they're so one track minded and selfish and hypocritical and they just focus on their own shit and everybody's like that now. Okay, fine. It's just I won't interact with you. It's just how I feel about it. But yeah.
what are you gonna do? I just think that like being as isolated as I am, it's taught me a lot about people because I've been able to observe people quite a bit. And that gives me sort of a social superpower once I get back into interacting with people frequently. But yeah, it's tough. It's not something that is very easy. And I think that I don't wish serious social isolation onto anyone because it is something that is not easy.
It's not easy. However, it can be extremely transformative. I'm proof of that. I'm telling you, I promise you, there was a time in my life where I could not operate on my own. I literally could not function on my own. I could not think on my own. I did not have, I feel like I don't know what was operating me, but it wasn't me. And forcing myself into a lot of isolating periods and being so nitpicky with people to the point where I will not let you in my life unless I really have a good idea of who you are and I really know whether or not you're going to be a good person in my life. I think being so protective of myself has actually been really good for me. So I don't know. I do agree with him that it could be detrimental, absolutely. But I think for some people, it could be really good too. It could be the most magical thing of your life. It could be the answer to your problems. So I think it's healthier to be completely isolated from people than to have parasitic, evil, manipulative people in your whole circle who are just influencing you all the time. I think it's 10 times healthier to be yourself and be alone and let yourself influence your thoughts than everybody else around you. Because at least if you're doing it yourself, you have autonomy a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't know. Those are just my thoughts. I really enjoyed this video. Go ahead, give him a follow. I'll leave his link and stuff below. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.